What if I told you that the most important spiritual teaching in Zen history fits inside a single sentence? Not a sutra, not a doctrine, not years of meditation training, just this. Have you eaten? Then wash your bowl. If that sounds too simple, even trivial, you are in good company. The monk who heard it first thought exactly the same thing. But what he discovered next, the thing that took him years to fully understand, is the same thing that changes people's lives today when they truly get it. Because hidden inside those 7 words is the answer to a question that nearly every one of us is carrying right now. Where am I actually supposed to find what I'm looking for? In the next 18 minutes, I want to walk you through one of the oldest, shortest, and most misunderstood stories in Zen Buddhism. A story so short you could read it in 10 seconds. A story so deep that monks have spent lifetimes trying to absorb what it actually means. I'm going to tell you the story. Then I'm going to show you the 4 layers of meaning most people completely miss. The layers that turn a simple sentence into a complete manual for how to be present in your own life. And then, and this is the part that matters, I'm going to show you how to actually use this teaching. Not in a monastery, in your kitchen, in your commute, in the middle of a difficult conversation. Because here is what the old Zen masters understood that the modern world has forgotten. The answer you are looking for is not in the extraordinary. It is in the ordinary, fully lived. 1200 years ago, during the Tang dynasty, there was a young monk who had traveled for months. He had studied scriptures. He had sat in meditation. He had debated philosophy with scholars in the capital. And still, something was missing. Not knowledge. He had more knowledge than he knew what to do with. Not discipline. His practice was rigorous, his schedule unbroken. What was missing was harder to name. It was the feeling that, despite everything he had learned and everything he had done, he had not yet touched the thing itself. Enlightenment, liberation, whatever word you want to use for the thing that changes everything. So he went to find Zhàozhōu. Zhàozhōu was a Zen master. By this point, he was known across China, not for his scholarship, not for his miracles, but for something much harder to describe. People who spent time around him said that he seemed to be doing exactly the same things everyone else was doing: eating, walking, sweeping, and yet, somehow, completely differently. Not in what he did, in how he was while doing it. So the young monk arrived. He bowed, he presented himself, and he asked the question he had carried for months. "Master," he said, his voice catching slightly, "what is the essence of Zen? What is enlightenment?" Zhàozhōu looked at him, not with special intensity, not with a penetrating spiritual gaze, just looked. The way you look at someone who has asked a question you have heard 1,000 times. Then he said, "Have you eaten your rice?" The young monk blinked. He had traveled for months. He had prepared himself for profundity, for a koan, for a transmission beyond words. And the master asked him if he had eaten. "Yes," the monk replied, confused, slightly deflated. "I have eaten." Then Zhàozhōu said, "Then wash your bowl." That was it. The young monk stood there, and something shifted. Not a thunderbolt, not a vision, just a quiet rearrangement of something deep inside him. And in that moment, the story tells us, he understood. Now, if you've heard this story before, you may have heard it told in 30 seconds and moved on. But the young monk did not move on. He stayed. And over the following days, he began to understand what Zhàozhōu had actually transmitted, not in the words, but in the space around the words. There is a reason Zen masters rarely give long answers. It's not because they are being mysterious. It's because the answer cannot be handed to you like an object. It has to be recognized. And Zhàozhou's answer, "Have you eaten? Then wash your bowl," contains within it everything you need to know about where peace actually comes from. Most people who hear this story walk away with nothing, because the meaning is not on the surface. It is layered, and each layer has to be felt, not just understood. So let me walk you through them, one at a time. The young monk had traveled for months. He thought enlightenment was somewhere else, in another place, with another teacher, in another text, after another practice. And Zhàozhou's answer cut through all of that in one stroke. "Have you eaten?" Translation: Are you here, right now, in your actual life? Then wash your bowl. Translation: Then do what is in front of you, completely. This is the first layer, and it is the one that undoes the deepest illusion. The illusion that peace, wisdom, and fulfillment are destinations you arrive at, after the next achievement, after the next insight, after the next phase of life. Buddhist philosophy calls this illusion samsara, the endless cycle of seeking, always reaching for the next thing, always believing the answer is just ahead. Zhàozhou was saying, stop traveling, eat, then wash the bowl. The second layer is the one that most challenges the way we have been trained to think about spiritual life. We imagine enlightenment as something dramatic, a lightning strike, a vision, a moment of transfiguration. And because we imagine it that way, we miss it every single time it arrives. Because it arrives as breakfast, it arrives as washing up, it arrives as the walk to work, it arrives as the sound of rain on the window. Zhàozhou did not tell the monk to go meditate for 10 more years. He did not tell him to read another sutra. He told him to wash his bowl. Because the bowl, washed with full attention, is the entire teaching. There is a famous passage from the Zen tradition. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. The student asks, then what is the difference? The master answers, before, when you chop wood, you are thinking about carrying water. When you carry water, you are thinking about chopping wood. After, when you chop wood, you chop wood. When you carry water, you carry water. The external action is identical. The internal experience is completely transformed. This is not philosophy. This is not poetry. This is a direct description of what presence actually feels like. And you have tasted it. You have had moments, maybe washing dishes, maybe walking, maybe driving, where suddenly, without trying, you were just there, fully, quietly, there. That was not an accident. That was a glimpse of the thing Zhàozhou was pointing to. The third layer is the one that dismantles the entire self-improvement industry in a single stroke. We are taught that peace requires adding things to our lives, more practices, more habits, more techniques. Zen says the opposite. Peace does not come from adding anything.
It comes from giving your full attention to what is already here. This is so simple that it's almost offensive, because we want the practice to be difficult. We want the answer to be earned. But Zhàozhōu gave the monk nothing difficult. He gave him something so simple that it exposed the only real obstacle, the mind's refusal to be where it actually is. The difficulty was never the bowl. The difficulty was the mind that wanted to be somewhere else while washing it. Let me say that again, because it is the heart of this entire teaching. The search for peace is the only thing keeping you from it. Not because peace doesn't exist, but because the search itself pulls you out of the only place peace can be found. Right here, right now, in whatever is in front of you. The fourth layer is the most practical, and the one you can begin using 10 seconds from now. Zhàozhōu was not just giving spiritual advice. He was giving the most practical instruction imaginable. After the meal, wash the bowl. After the work, rest. After the conversation, let it go. After the emotion passes, don't chase it. The modern mind does the opposite. During the meal, it's already at the next meeting. During the meeting, it's replaying the argument from yesterday. During the argument, it's worrying about next month. The bowl never gets washed because the mind is never where the bowl is. Here is the practice Zhàozhōu was offering. Whatever you are doing, do that. Not that plus 3 other things. Not that while planning the next thing. Not that while regretting the last thing. That. Only that. Completely. It sounds so small, but if you actually try it, even for 5 minutes, you will discover something remarkable. The present moment is not empty. It is full. It was only ever the distracted mind that made it feel like not enough. So how do you actually use this? Not in a monastery 1,000 years ago, but tomorrow morning, in your actual life. I want to give you 3 specific practices. Start with the first one. Come back for the others when you're ready.
1. The bowl practice. Once a day, pick an ordinary task that you normally rush through. Washing dishes, making tea, folding laundry, walking to the car. And do it, just it. No podcast, no music, no planning the next thing. When your mind wanders, and it will, bring it back gently. No judgment, just return. Washing the bowl, washing the bowl, washing the bowl. 5 minutes is enough. The goal is not duration. The goal is attention. 2. The Zhàozhōu question. Whenever you notice yourself feeling restless, like you should be somewhere else, like something is missing, ask yourself one question. Have I eaten? Translation. Am I present to what is actually happening right now? And then, whatever the answer, then wash the bowl. Translation. Then do what is in front of you. This question, asked sincerely, interrupts the seeking pattern instantly. 3. The release. After you finish something, a meal, a task, a conversation, pause for 3 seconds. 3 seconds of silence before moving to the next thing. This is the washing of the bowl, not physically, psychologically, closing one thing completely before opening the next. These 3 practices, the bowl, the question, the release, are not complicated, but if you do them consistently, something begins to shift. Not dramatically, not overnight, quietly.
the way water clears after the mud settles. You begin to notice that peace was never somewhere else. It was in the bowl, waiting for you to notice it. 1,200 years ago, a monk traveled for months to ask the most important question he could think of, and the answer he received was 7 words long. Have you eaten? Then wash your bowl. He didn't need more teaching. He needed to actually live the teaching he already had. And so do we. If this reached you today, if something in this story landed, I would ask you to do one thing. Not subscribe, not comment. Go wash a bowl. Seriously, right now or after this video. Find a bowl. Wash it. Not while thinking about this video, not while planning what to do next. Just wash it. That is the entire practice. That is the entire teaching. That is the entire point. And next week, I want to talk about something that follows directly from this teaching. The Buddhist concept of Wu Wei, effortless action. Not laziness, not passivity, but the strange and powerful experience of doing without forcing. If that is something you want to understand, the subscribe button is there, and I'll see you in the next one. Now, go wash a bowl.